All right, welcome back for our final match of the week here, week 5, feature matches, and we got Spaghetti Mitch here taking on Jeremy, who already has a very scary card here revealed with his companion, Lutri the Spell Chaser. Uh,
Oh,
so what's he got going on in his deck there? I assume some blue or red mana at the very least.
you'll have to give me a hot second. The stream is reloading.
Okay, no worries.
I can tell you what he does have, though. He has a Lutri.
Uh huh. Got it.
What's Smith's working with from his side?
Looks like a Simic deck of some kind. He may be playing more colors, I don't know, but very ordinary group of commons here that he's looking at. Topiary Panther, Bite Down on Crime, Nervous Gardener, Vitugazi Inspector, Projector Inspector. Basically what you'd expect to see in a green-blue deck in like a draft. And a forest and an island, and a plains off the top, so there's some other
Oh,
colors going on. Do we have a functional stream yet, or...
we have a functional stream.
Oh,
You'll
great,
see one of
perfect.
his cards in the Fugitive Codebreaker. There's two more mountains in hand, a shock, a Greenbelt Radical, then everyone's favorite commander card, Kenrith the Return King.
Oh boy, okay. I've actually never played against that in Commander, but I imagine it has quite the impact on the board. Because you can give people stuff, right? Like you can let them draw a card, you can let them reanimate a creature.
Yeah, there's
In,
so much stuff you can do with that card. It's
in
just,
limited,
it's
it's just an evil monster that just only benefits you. But in Commander, you can do
yes.
some fun stuff.
Granted,
Yeah,
there's
this
no planes in sight.
okay.
There's just a forest to cast the radical, but
Well, he has
Penrith
time.
might have to wait a bit.
He has time. So this Fugitive Codebreaker, every time I see it, I'm like, man, I'm gonna draw 3 cards with it, and then I just play it and start attacking.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a two drop, it just makes the most sense, right? It's a curve filler.
It just hurts a bit, you know. Like it says draw 3 cards on it, and then you're like, well, I'll just play a 2/1 for 2. Okay, fine.
I didn't realize about the discount for the flip. I never realized that was even like printed on the card because I've never flipped one.
Well, I do believe it's being played in mono red in I guess standard or something or other. It's seems pretty good in that type of deck. Early threat, and then late in the game you reload because mono red plays a bunch of cheap instants. So pretty
Now
nice.
this is an interesting draw. So he
Go
didn't
on.
have white before, but he drew a blighted burgeoning. So now
Okay.
he'll have access to the white next turn. Not to
Right.
mention, I mean, this also gives him every other color for Kenrith. So normally you're pigeonholed into only doing like one, two, maybe three of the keyword abilities. But with the burgeoning, he can just do whatever he wants.
Yeah. So that's the land aura that you can.
Yep,
Your
from
your 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 land taps for an extra mana of any color, and you get an incubator token.
yep.
Right. So Mitch just says, "Let me block here. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy on his end." Down goes the gardener, and not flipping gardener. Just always feels bad.
It's rough. I mean, depending on what he has for this turn, I guess you don't take too much damage.
Yeah. Like once I flip it, I'm like, yeah, I could trade with anything. Like I'm
Yeah.
good. But unflipped just feels bad.
Well, does he have a
But
follow up play, or does he have multiple plays he can make?
he has a few choices here. He has Projector Inspector. He has this Vitugazi Inspector he may just cast here with his evidence. So not a bad play overall. He's got a Bite Down on Crime too, and a Topiary Panther. So we'll see what he decides to do. Maybe he cycles the Panther in order to cast Bite Down on the cheap. We'll see. Again, don't have a good idea of what his deck is up to yet. Like we've only seen commons, so we don't know exactly what lies beneath. But I have heard there's a doppelgang at the very least in his deck, from what I understand.
Well, we won't see Kenrith yet. We're going to see a long goodbye.
I mean, yeah, just right now, Jeremy's sort of on the beatdown plan, right? Like he just sort of looks like a Gruul beats deck, which Lutri is not going to be as good as it will be in some other decks, but I mean, it's still just a great card.
I think it's fine here. Like now he's setting himself up for like two potential plays, just Kenrith or double shocking.
Yeah, so he can Kenrith and give haste, which is
Yeah.
a little scary, I'll say.
I mean, he
Right, so
might just hold the shock and just run the Kenrith out to try and
so
get
he
some
went
beats
to get
in.
a forest, and then he drew another forest. So
Yuck.
he will have this Projector Inspector to loot away here. Um, Hopefully he doesn't use the bite down on crime here because he'll want to use that on the Kenrith, almost certainly. All right, 10
I mean,
just to guard as the draw here, which is one of his splashes. He appears to be a base green blue with potentially some splashes other than this.
the guard's pretty good.
Yeah, no, this was a good turn. Unfortunately, the 10th district hero is just a human when it comes in, so you don't get to loot. Was that a lightning bolt I saw? I couldn't quite tell. I
It
don't I,
does
don't-
damage.
I don't know all these alternate arts off by heart, but that,
We
that,
know
that
it does the deeps.
yeah, this is going to be a nasty surprise here.
Yes. Ooh. I would feel all the ability to know draw, reanimate. I don't it's put one counter on one thing, right?
Yeah,
For the green.
two mana for a counter. You can gain 5 life. You can draw a card. You can reanimate. I think that covers it. Trample and haste.
Ooh, I like this. He might just swing both and save up
Oh,
the
he's representing the counter
counter.
here. I
Yep.
like this. Yeah.
Just gotta read it again.
Well, Mitch, he's. I mean, if he doesn't know what it does, he'll learn this turn. So he will be able to untap and kill this Kenrith, but it's still going to be a rough go of it here.
What's he gotta do? Like bolt and then
He's
bite
drawn an
down?
Archdruid's Charm, but he also has the bite down on crime.
Well,
So
does he have a way to? Well, okay, get rid of it from the
he
graveyard.
can grow his 10th district and then he can bite down. And I believe he's just going to do that straight away here.
Yeah, Kenrith is just not something you want to mess around with, right?
What was the face down creature there?
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forget.
It's all right. I'm sure it was forgettable. Let's see if he. I mean, he has the Archdruid's Charm. He could do it at instant speed, but I don't think he wants to mess around with that because Kenrith has all these activated abilities.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, just getting rid of it and swinging for 6 is pretty good. Like, the last card in hand is Lutri.
I would be extraordinarily surprised if he allowed Jeremy to untap with all this mana they can use on the Kenrith. All right, so yeah,
Oh,
this 10th district is quite threatening here. 5/5 starting to become a 6/6 that gives everything else indestructible. So let's see
yeah.
what Jeremy can draw this turn.
So the face down is the green belt radical. That's right from the turn
Oh, okay.
in the
I
open
mean,
hand.
that's pretty good.
He does have 7, so he has Lutri and the bloated processor.
Bloated, is that a black card?
Yeah, it's from I want to say
It's all be
Wilds of
one.
Eldraine. It's the
Oh,
3 drop. You can
bloated
like
process.
sack plus to it. Maybe it is from all be one. You're probably right. Maybe it's from like Mom because it's a Phyrexian.
I thought it was all be one, but it could be mom.
I want to say Mom.
I believe
I don't think
you could sack for
he
X.
wanted it
Yeah,
here.
no, it is for mom because it makes an incubator when it dies.
Yeah. I don't think this is the block that Jeremy wanted here. I guess he was hoping he would block the Greenbelt Radical. No.
I mean,
I'm really not sure what's up with this attack. I feel like I'm missing something.
yeah, maybe Jeremy was missing something.
Yeah, I thought for sure he would have just ran both creatures out and saved next turn for the Radical because it gives +1 everything and trample.
Yeah, well, I mean, he still reserves the right to flip up the radical, but he's down a body. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sacrifice another Phyrexian, put a +1 counter. When it dies, incubate equal to its power. Okay. So looks like he's not just green red splashing Kenrith. He's might be green red splashing anything he's interested in.
What if he has more effects like Blighted Virgin to allow him to do that? It's hard for me to believe he'd stretch his mana base that thin, but I mean, maybe there's other ways to just grab the lands.
All right.
The deck's been firing off lately, so whatever he's
I
doing is
mean,
working.
yeah, they're both at 14 wins, so they're both doing good. Again, similar to what I said about our last two competitors earlier, who are at 13 and 14 wins. They do have to pick it up here in the late in the end of the league, but they both position themselves to at least attempt to make a run. Yeah, so the face down creature is the flourishing bloomkin here, which cannot be
Oh,
flipped yet.
so what's the last card in the end?
He has the bite down on crime. He's had that for a little while.
Gotcha. So if he uses it now, it's good. It's good.
So if he does this, he will not be able to. I don't believe he'll be able to activate the 10th district unless
No, it's three
it's
mana for the last one, right?
yeah, yes. All right. He says, I don't like the looks of this face down creature. I don't know what it is,
I
and
mean, it
I
is
don't want to have to find out.
dangerous. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, good timing here. I don't know if you put him on something as powerful as the green belt, but Mitch is probably a little confused based on the attack from last turn, the 3/3 just dying for no reason.
I'd be confused too.
So he's like, I don't know, I don't know what that was about. The mind games, it's next level mind games, but you have to throw away 3/3 tokens in order to play the mind games.
Now, can he copy the bite down with Lutri? Or it's only spells you control, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a spell you control.
Okay, I'm like, I see Jeremy thinking over here. I'm like, can he? Is that something it does?
I mean, it does everything. It was banned before it ever had a chance to make it into commander. So, all right, well, this is what Lutri does sometimes. It just comes in and, and blocks. I also don't know if Mitch was counting on that happening either.
Oh, well, he knew it was in hand, right?
All right, well, here's an attack for 3, so not good for Mitch here. He does have the Bloomkin, which he can activate. He set an upkeep stop. Maybe he just wants to get 2 lands out of his deck, but 5 mana is a lot. He won't be. Most things he draws, he won't be able to cast. So, what's the last card here for the
It
Lurgoy?
is a mountain.
Okay, so
So it looks like he's going to go for your dig two land, thin the deck out, look for face damage, right?
I mean, at 15, I don't know. I don't know if it's a face damage game right now. But if he has Surveil Land, then it's potentially worth it to do it upkeep. But looks like yeah. So he does have one. Okay, so I did spot while he was going through his deck in Ezram, which with this many forests in deck, Darth Vader might need to have a word with him about that.
Hey, I mean, if he if he gets it, he can actually cast it.
Correct.
Disgusting, yes, but workable, yes.
Your statement is not incorrect.
Uh-oh, forest for turn. It's not looking good from this side.
But look, play your powerful cards. That's how you do. So Nervous Gardener is the face down here. Nothing to fear for Jeremy, but again, he doesn't know that. But man, like whenever anything I have trades for my opponent's Nervous Gardener, I just feel like I lost a step. And whenever I get to trade my Nervous Gardener for anything, I just feel like I'm ahead, even though it's a small little thing, but I feel like little things like that add up.
It really does, to be honest. Like some games you get stuck on three, Guard will get you to four. I mean, if you get stuck on two, then I mean, like whatever. It's a two drop.
I've
It's just
played
like
on I've played on turn two.
multi-physical.
I'm not
Yeah,
too proud. I'm not too proud to play it on turn two.
it just fills every niche you need for this format. You know.
All right, so here comes Analyze the Pollen. So we may be seeing the aforementioned Archon
Uh-oh.
Detective coming down here.
I wonder if he has anything else outside of Ezra to dig for, or if that's like his best finisher for the deck.
I
You
mean, it's
say
got to be.
13 and 9, right?
I mean, 10th District Hero is also like a pretty good finisher, but it's in the graveyard right now.
I find 10th District to be good. I find more times than not that a lot of people run them out so early that they tend to die before they can really become that finisher.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a good creature in the early game. Yeah, so he is
Yeah.
he is not scrolling through his deck. Ezram was one of the first cards that came up since it goes by mana cost, and he says, "Let me have it." He says, "Fight this, please." And
Can we get a lightning
Jeremy
or something off the top?
Jeremy is probably displeased here.
Well,
Ezram, look, it's
close.
it's 5 mana. It flies. It draws cards, maybe. It gains life, maybe. If only it were a 2/2.
Oh, not even the crazy attack.
Ah,
Pretty
here's
sure Galvanize.
okay. Here's another very silly card off the top here. Uh, Pelucranos Reborn.
Oh dear God, is that the green black one?
No, it's the triple green one, which goes best friends with Ezram in the mana base here. It's the triple green one that flips into a Phyrexian.
As disturbed as Vader might be, he's actually casting all these cards though.
I mean, most people do. I mean, look, people make it work.
I
It's
mean, he has what, a Blinken so far, from what I know, two Gardeners, maybe more.
yeah, the fixing is there. It's just I just cringe a bit at what happens when he doesn't draw the fixing and draws
Yeah.
Pelucranos and Ezram in the same hand without
To
fixing.
be fair though, how many like two color decks have you seen just absolutely get like stomped because they don't get their second color? It happens.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Well,
So
we know the risks, right? But
yeah.
I mean, look, these are some really powerful cards, and I don't blame him for doing everything he can to make it work. And so far, it's working. So
Gain some life, put him back in the game. This Galvanize isn't really going to save you though. But I mean, I guess it's dealing with one threat.
he
It's
might
really going to
just
suck to see this
okay.
Pelucranos come down.
He might hold on to the Pelucranos here, just telling Jeremy solve this first, and then you can deal with it. He might just run it out here. Yeah,
No,
okay.
he's running it out. He's running it out. This is Mitch. There's no holding anything back.
The man wants his face damage, and he wants it now. He wants it
Yep,
yesterday, actually.
I can hear him already. So if I don't play it, if he gets rid of my Ezram, then I put him at two, and then I'll have Miss Lethal. Nope, I'm playing it.
So he's able to basically still keep himself one mana to save Ezra here,
And
if he
also
flips
flip
it.
Pelucranos.
So if I recall, it's like what's that called? It's like
Worm?
the worm coil engine kind of,
Yeah.
except it makes a lifelink and a reacher. So not quite as busted, but still very good. I don't think this fish is up to the job here.
Hey, listen, play to your outs, right?
Yeah, I mean, if he has a board wipe, I mean, he's still very dead.
Wow. Wow.
What do we got?
It's just an escort. The wolf from AFR?
What? Wildwood Escort?
Escort, yeah, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah, it's from
Yeah.
Mom. It's like a gravedigger, but in green.
Why
But
did I think it was AFR?
Jeremy's seen, I'll say, more than enough. So on top of
Yeah.
those rares, he's on top of the rares we saw that game. Okay, with the four Nervous Gardeners and three Panthers, this mana base is uh, a little more forgivable here.
I
I
believe in him.
can I mean, still just two basic planes and the green white dual land for Ezram is a little iffy, but like he's making it work. That man is making it work.
I mean, I get the point of not, withholding your bombs, but at the same time, you're not wrong. Like, double splash of blue isn't the easiest thing to happen, so we'll have to see if it comes to bite him in the butt. Generally, he's mainly just doing Jun things with the base of the deck being. I mean, you've seen
Okay.
it before. Green red with a very small little splash of black and like long goodbye processor,
Okay.
um, the bone brute, and Elvish Vat Keeper. But I mean, Kenrith is probably the only thing outside the norm. But on the top end, you got the Rakdos from Mom.
Okay. I've also noticed he's just has 23 lands here, which is I mean he has analyzed the pollen as well, but 23 is bordering on risking to miss your land drops on a regular
Hey,
basis.
listen, Nervous Gardeners, point 0.5 worth of a land.
Yeah, but it's still a turn four. Like you still need to
Hmm.
hit your fourth land in order to. Well, I guess not. You need to hit your third
Yeah, you
land.
gotta
So,
hit three. As long as you hit
but it's
three.
still yeah. So he also has a Kellen here, the doppelgang that I mentioned up top. Yeah, deck looks very good. And one card that I know came into play yesterday in a match against Oompa Loompa is the Oracle of Tragedy.
Ah, the 2-drop 1/3 for Mom.
Yeah, so normally it's when it enters the battlefield or dies, you loot. But in this case, he used it to shuffle back 4 cards of mana value 3 or greater, I believe, from graveyard to library to deck opponent before he decked. And we get our classic problem hand here with a deck like this: 4 green cards, 2 islands, and a plains.
But does keep is the question.
Well, none of those cards are Nervous Gardeners, so no.
It's a problem for one of these players because Jeremy has a Nervous Gardener, along with Forest Swamp, Bone Brute, Galvanize. He even has the Furnace Host Charger to go looking
Ooh,
for his red if he wants
mountain.
on turn 2,
That's
and
a
then a
mountain
Blighted Bird.
somewhere.
There is
Um,
fixing if he wants it.
yeah, so now we have another problematic hand here of Doppelgang, Out Cold, Oracle of Tragedy, and you guessed it, 3 forests. And he's drawn a white
It'll
card
work
for turn.
out.
He's drawn the Case of Gateway Express. So if he doesn't get his mana in order here, this game probably won't last too long. But if he draws an island right now, he has the Oracle of Tragedy to loot. Okay, he's drawn an island kind of.
Tapped Island. Oh, okay. That's the second option. Analyze the pollen. I mean, it's not like Jeremy's hand isn't like super quick though, right? So
No,
turn 2, find Mountain. Turn 3, play Gardener. Turn 4, flip Gardener, play Bone Brute. And he's got Lightning Helix in hand. It's not like anything's going extremely quick where like it could spiral out of control.
I don't know. I keep hearing people telling me they're playing Boros. They're playing against Boros all the time, and that's not been my experience. Like I think I played against it 2 or 3 times the whole league.
I think it just depends. I haven't
Yeah.
seen Boros much at all in my personal league run, but I have seen it on stream a lot versus other people.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Like I think Jordan was mentioning after the game that I think last week he played against 3 or 4 in a row and took losses, which prompted him to change his deck to something that can fight against it,
I've heard Boros players
rather than be the inferior Boros deck.
well, Boros players play Friday to Sunday, from what I understand.
Oh, okay. Well, I got it.
They have to be
Understood.
thematically on point.
Got it. Well, you didn't play this week, so
See, thematically on point.
so what's our face down friend here? Is that the gardener?
No, that is the Bone Brute. He decided to run it that way.
Ooh, okay.
It's just a weird little bit of tension though. So if he flips it, well, I guess if he does it now, he'll have just one mana stranded. Really nothing to do with it.
Oh, he doesn't have a fourth land, is what you're saying.
Correct.
I feel like if you're risking to miss your land drops, you need to play Gardener. But I get the appeal of just smashing your opponent's face with this.
All right. Jeremy
And
said, "I understand you play Mitch. I'll play the same way. Face damage.
face damage, yeah. I mean, Mitch is he's getting his face damaged this time.
I mean, this
Um,
is a pretty quick clock, right? Four
well, he has
turns.
he has the bite down on crime here. But again, it never feels good knowing that your opponent played a 3 mana card that dealt you 9 damage.
Might as well get your face damage in, Mitch, right?
I mean, he's wondering if there's haste in his future.
Yeah.
He says I'm already low. He hasn't. I mean, I guess he saw the fish, the red herring. So he just says, "I'm gonna win with my doppelgang, hopefully." So let's
Funnily
not
enough, there
let's
was a
not
hit.
incur risks. Let's not make my life total go any further down. Potentially, I'm just gonna sit back here.
All
So
right, so now it's the
is
gardener.
this finally the gardener? Okay,
Indeed.
as I suspected. All right. Now we got a surveillance monitor drawn here. He also has a V2 Gazi Inspector. And still the doppelgang and the out cold from the opening hand. All right, so
I
here
mean,
comes
still
the
time to
monitor.
play it a little slowly. Like, let's see. Look for lands, still 3 mana. Um, Tipster. I don't think you play Fugitive face down. Yeah, it's interesting. He probably just plays Burgeoning or something, to be honest.
It's probably going to start with finding a land, I would say,
Yeah. Oh, that's
or
awkward.
or drawing a land, or drawing a land
Yeah.
works too. All right, so burgeoning, yeah, this just sets him up to be able to cast everything he wants to cast.
Just drop the Tipster. So my Jeremy's not in the worst of positions either. He still has Lutri, and he still has the Lightning Helix in hand. So a double cast of that is
Oh, he's going to need a lot more red mana to make that work.
well, Burgeoning. Okay, he doesn't have.
Well,
I
he
see
he
what you mean.
he, he still
He needs
needs
two
two
decks of
more
red.
red. There's
Yeah,
at
two
least two
pips of
more
red.
red. Because the burgeoning will tap for a green and then a white, I suppose. He'll
Well, he'll
still need
only
two
need
more.
one more, right?
Oh yeah, one
Lutri.
more. No,
Yeah.
no, because you need the red. You need the red for the lightning hits and two red for the loot tree. So it's got a ways to go, unless I missed
Well,
something. He needs three red and a white. Anyway,
I think he's got it. He's got the gardener, the gardener to find the third red
yeah, he'll still need another though.
or a white. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the blighted burgeoning. I don't believe it makes the land tap for any combination. I believe it just adds an extra on top of what it makes. So you make a
Yeah.
green and then you make one of something else. All right, more face downs here, which will grow the tunnel tipster.
I always forget this. Is companioning the companions? Is that sorcery speed now instead of instant?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it was never an instant.
Goes to show how little companions I've played.
Or well, originally you could just cast it just like from your sideboard, but they realized that was way too busted, and then they changed the rule, and then it was still busted and constructed.
I mean, it really was busted. It felt like playing Yu-Gi-Oh, having a sideboard, except it was just one.
Well, I mean, like how many are banned in in some constructed form? Like a lot.
Too many. There's at least what, three or four? Lutri, the cat.
I know.
Wait, is
I
that
know.
it?
I know. Luris.
That's the cat.
Yorion got banned in something modern or some
It.
such thing.
I
Possibly,
didn't think that was the case.
maybe. I don't know. I truly, it's truly ridiculous. I know that Luris got banned in Vintage, which is you almost never ban something in Vintage. They just restrict it. But the point of Lutri, if you restrict it, well, they still get to have the one. Like basically only like anti cards and like Shahrazad and stuff are banned in Vintage. Like nothing's banned in Vintage for like just being too powerful, but except Luris. Anyway.
I'm
Uh,
trying to remember the pre or post nerf.
so we get another Thopter here from the V2 Gazi Inspector. In hand, he has the Doppelgang, which he's building up towards 8, which is where you would
Oh
like
what?
Doppelgang to be. He also has Ezram here. Needs that planes, obviously.
Oh, he's got time. He's got time.
Well,
So it's
he's
Oracle draws.
yeah. So he's counting to 8 here, I think, to get his Doppelgang up to 2. I guess to make more surveillance monitors and just make lots of Thopters.
I give Jeremy patience for not flipping this tipster over or this gardener over, like at all. He had the extra green from the tipster. He's like, nah, it's better as a surprise.
Really, I just kind of want to just get my land and get my value and not have to worry about it potentially dying when I have my guard down. I want my value. I want my card back. Right, here's a gardener that can go fix up this second white situation here, and also provide
And
the
yeah, the
eighth
eighth.
the eighth mana.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, I mean, look, like look in week 5, you're expecting decks to be functioning at a high level here, and Mitch's deck is chugging along as we can see. Jeremy's deck looks a little more like disjointed, just sort of like not in an insulting way, but just like less synergy and just more stuff. And Mitch's deck seems a bit more like it has like a very focused plan here.
Fix, collect evidence, play Ezram. Maybe Doppelgang's on a good day.
Yeah, just build toward just like his entire like top like his entire low end is just geared towards living. Like 4 nervous gardeners, 3 Vitu inspectors. Like not attacking needlessly earlier, just in the face of potential haste. Like his plan is like very very thought out and very, all of his decisions are being made with the overall plan of his deck in mind rather than like what's happening exactly on any one turn. Like
Um,
that was shown by not attacking with the Oracle
had the opportunity
when he bit
earlier.
down on crime and could have gotten 3. He said, "You know what? I respect the fish or other haste. I'm at 11. He was at 11 at the time. No need to incur more damage. I have a doppelganger in my hand, and I have other good draws. Obviously, Ezra being one of them. So he's very focused, and he's sending his love.
Now, interesting note. There's really nothing good at doppelgang on Jeremy's side. Right? Mitch can always just doppelgang his what surveillance monitors. I guess oracles are pretty good also.
So he
Well,
needs two surveillance monitors.
that question's gone.
How
That's
many
out. Done.
how many tokens does he get to make? Quite a lot.
That never happens.
He would get to make six tokens, I believe. But
If he had enough, if he had enough, and a
no,
separate,
never mind.
yeah, in a whole different parallel timeline, we actually got to see that happen.
So Germany has a lightning helix as one of the unknowns.
Yeah, well, lightning helix, pick your poison, and then Lutri.
Okay, pick your poison. I guess Ezram is Ezram is he's protected from being poisoned here.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of these thoughts there somehow in some way first.
Yeah, that's a problem. It's like when pick your poison is good, it's real good. When it's bad, it just is almost uncastable. I'm sad that this format's going to come to an end, and I will have never cast pick your poison on turn one on my opponent's clue land. But
It's a really good point.
I've done the turn three ape I think once on the clue land, but I still never I never got the turn one stone range just yet, and sadly I don't think I'll get the chance.
Maybe someone out there's done it for you. There's got to be some hot dog somewhere.
Somebody's done it, and you know I feel very happy for them. So what are Jeremy's options here?
Um, well, they're all really bad to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, Mitch is not doing anything yet either, but Ezra coming down is gonna change all that.
I mean, anything he does this turn as an overcommitment just kind of feels bad. Like, sure, you pick your poison, get rid of both flyers, slap the Lucher down. Then you have Ezra next turn, and you kind of have like a dud lightning helix that's not going to deal with that. So you're probably going to have to flip your fugitive codebreaker and look for it out.
Look, Doppelgang is only as good as what you can copy with it, and right now it's just it's all mediocre.
I mean, I
But
guess his best play this turn would be to double up on the lightning helix to get rid of both the Thothers, and then pick your poison on the Ezram.
I still don't think he can. He doesn't have the right mana to do that.
Yes,
He still needs an extra red or white source
sadly. In
in
a
order
world where the
to
mana's
execute this
perfect, though,
spell.
that's the best out.
Well, we all know mana isn't perfect, except except when it is.
I'm trying to think now. The poison dart frog from the last set, it made any mana, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
slight difference between this and the tipster.
Yeah, well, the tipster being able to grow is pretty strong. So I have mentioned this previously in previous weeks, but I really like this design philosophy of making green mana dorks that do something late in the game. This is like the tipster grows, the poison dart frog gets death touch, and it already has reach. We saw in Eldraine there was a one that could filter mana. I mean, that one wasn't as good, but at least it tapped for green or it like filtered for one. We had Lord of the Rings. It gave plus three and trample to something for seven mana. So because it was getting to the point where the cards in limited were getting so good to the point where just a two mana dork did it does
Not
nothing
cutting
in
it.
the it does like starting from middle of the game it basically does nothing like to the point where they were just becoming bad. So very nice change in design philosophy to tack on these little abilities that can come up clutch later. All right. Well,
Wow.
here's okay. Vat Keeper. That's a nice one.
I wonder if Jeremy, he can't because he tapped the burgeoning. Well, never mind. That takes that out of the equation. Because I want to see Lightning Helix is his own Vat Keeper if Mitch were to take it or make copies of it. But
Oh,
it's got to be one of Mitch's targets, right?
well, that would be a brutal one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he did exercise the double the counters option, I believe, here for five mana.
Yep.
So he's just building a nice army here. Here comes a 10th district hero. So the hits don't stop here.
So you can't do both. Is it 10th? It's not legendary, is it? Or is it?
I believe the final iteration becomes legendary.
Okay, but baseline it's not. So you can like choose which one to make legendary.
No, it's just like a beat cop to start with, right? It's just a human. It's just sort of out on the streets doing work, and then it becomes a detective, and then later becomes a legendary.
Now, Doppelgang on these Phyrexian warriors over here, do they get the counters of the ones on the?
No, they'll just be zero zeros that die
That's what I
immediately.
thought. I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, ah.
No, so Mitch is rightfully taking his time here, deciding what he wants to do. If he wants to doppelgang for x equals 2, if he wants to play 10th district, start working on that. Almost certainly he'll be attacking with the Ezram. That's uh, that's one thing I can predict.
We might as well swing Ezra in both tops, right?
Yeah, gaining 5 is pretty safe here.
I think I'd probably even gain 5 to be honest. I'd probably just Doppelgang, save 1 to keep your Ezra alive.
Yeah, fair play.
So I mean,
Let's
like,
see.
I don't know. You take 2 Vat Keepers, 2
Huh.
Inspectors or something like that. Gain 4 life. That seems pretty good to me.
So he's main phase sacking a clue. I don't know if that means he's going to give vigilance.
Ha! Jeremy knows. Jeremy says, "Here comes the gang."
Oh, he feels it. He feels it. He feels it. I mean, you can try and play around Doppelgang to a certain extent by not playing out maybe your best creature every turn, but eventually you have to just play stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can't withhold cards, right?
In the face of Ezram, Jeremy has to play to the board and try and just go as big as he can to fight against this, even though it's exceptionally difficult to fight against.
I'm trying to think. Did I see any board wipes in Jeremy's list? 'Cause that's like really like that's something you really want to see against us, right?
Yeah, I feel like one of the defining features of this league for me, and maybe just because I ended up with 2 of them in my deck, is the fact that there's 3 different board wipes, and there's just more rares in the play boosters. All right, so he says, I'm going to make a Vat Keeper. What else do I want?
It's got to be an Inspector Oracle. It's got to
I
be
mean, he could make a copy of Ezram and it'll be untapped.
untapped and 2 more clues,
4 more clues.
4 more clues.
Okay, no. He says, I'm just going to do it like this. I'll loot. Hopefully, just get rid of some lands. Incubate 2, incubate 2. Don't need a gardener. Don't need my boy.
Or does he?
Well, I mean, in the face of keeping that or 10th district hero, I think my boy, the eavesdropper, gets the
It's
boot
fine.
here.
It's fine. We have your boy on this
He'll
side. We
live.
just
He'll live. He'll live. It's fine. I'm dealing with it.
so without a plane, Mitch can at least go up to level 2 on the hero.
So Mitch is wondering to himself and in front of all of us as well with the little chat bubble thing, uh, if it's a green belt hiding under there. So, but I think he's positioned himself in such a way that with the amount of bodies he has, he can withstand that.
I mean, the rough part of this, I mean, this would be the turn.
Is
Jeremy
it
could clean the rid of
is
Ezra.
what is the face down over there? It's been there for since early
The
game.
code breaker.
Okay, it's the code breaker, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not Mitch's worst fears are not coming true here. I mean, green belt would be good, but with Mitch at 18 and with the high amount of toughness he has there,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
he has more than enough
he could
blockers
withstand
to block
he could
him.
withstand a green belt turn, even though that's not on the menu right now.
Yeah, I mean, he would just die. I mean, Jeremy would die to the crackback if that were the case.
I mean, Jerry's at 4, and we got a 5/5 flyer here, so that's the primary concern at this time for Jeremy. It's not can I get my opponent low and do a big attack. It's how do I make it to the next turn? Does that involve discarding his hand potentially and drawing 3? Like, there's not that many options.
Well, there is another option that I did not foresee earlier. So he's missing the white to do a double lightning helix
Right.
or
Yeah,
like any combination of red spells. But
we
he can.
established that much.
Oh, wait, what? You can't cast Lutri then. I think he's trying to Lightning Helix, then Lutri for a double pick your poison. But I don't see the second red.
He still can't do it.
Let me see what he's up to. What are you up to, Jeremy?
Urgh, hate to see that. I mean, at least this way he's not just straight up dead to the flying. Where mana flows. Love it. I don't know where the donut comes in here, but okay. No, my boy.
I mean, here's the mountain, the plains. A little late. A little late.
Yeah, that was awkward. I mean, I guess technically it keeps him alive. He's not taking 7 now, but big yikes.
What do you do from here? Pray and hope. What do you grab back? The loot.
I mean, hope is not a strategy, but I don't know what exactly he could have in his deck to make this work at this point. Mitch is going to do a quick check to see if he has lethal and realize that with the incubators, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
So
9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
blockers on this
6.
side.
No, this is definitely lethal because
I
5 is getting through, and he just needs. I just needs a 2 power creature to get through, and it's like 9, 10 attackers versus 6 blockers. So math says that Spaghetti Mitch is going to be emerging victorious here. Well, that's a lot of face damage. It's more than Jeremy's lifetotal can withstand. Yeah, a bit awkward there with the mana at the end, not being able to double Lightning Helix or effectively double pick your poison because of the Thopters. Who knew those Thopters would play such a large role in the end game there? Just protecting Ezram from the pick your poison.
know, right? Clean answer. But with
Yeah,
Thopter running around, what are you gonna do?
yeah. So unfortunate turn of events for the lack of red mana there, but Mitch sticks to his game plan and sees it through for the victory. So congratulations to Mitch, and hopefully we'll be seeing people back for some Week 6 feature matches. Hopefully.